Hi, I'm Jason, and I remember being overwhelmed when I first wanted to start an online store. I didn't know where to start or even what I should sell. But once I discovered Printful, it was super easy. I'm going to walk you through Printful step by step, providing tips I've learned along the way. Ready? Let's go. So what exactly is Printful and how does it work? Well, Printful is a print-on-demand service that handles the printing, packing, and shipping of all your custom-made products and integrates seamlessly with online stores like Etsy and Shopify. So how does it exactly work? Well, you just go and pick a product you want to sell, choose the settings for it, you add your design, you upload your product to your store, whether it's Etsy, Shopify, wherever. Then once a customer buys your product, Printify automatically fills each order as they come in. There's no upfront production cost, no storage space needed. Essentially, you focus on creating, promoting, and they handle the rest. Let's walk through how to launch your print-on-demand shop in one afternoon. It just takes 5 easy steps. First up is sign up with Printful. So just click sign up and go through motions like every other website out there. Step number 2 is connecting our platform, whether it's Shopify, Etsy, or any of the others. Or we could launch our own store within Printful itself. I'll get to the details of that later. But if you're not sure which one, answer a couple questions and I'll recommend which one you should start with. So regarding the quick stores, this is where you can start a store within 10 minutes, all up with Printful's website. You don't have to have an external store. You don't have to know any kind of website design. Your main focus is creating products and promoting them. They'll handle all the shipping and other arrangements. And in this situation, you're pretty much just like a outside salesperson. Regardless of what platform you use, whether that's Shopify, Etsy, or quick stores, the next step is choosing what products you want to sell. And finally, the last step is selling them. I mentioned earlier that I wasn't sure what to sell when I was first starting out. So if you're in the same boat, or if you're just trying to get some more money in because your current stuff isn't selling as fast as you want, you could go towards their best sellers. This is what they know has been selling the most of anybody using their platform. So you can see it's t-shirts, stickers, and hats, and mugs. That's mostly the most important thing. That's what most people buy. So these are the good products to start with and go from there if you're not really sure. Or if you want to have a leg up on your competition and sell stuff that's not highly competitive, you can go to their new products. I like this license plate frame. That's pretty cool to have a customized license plate. It's pretty cheap too. As you know, it's only $863 with Printful Growth. Growth is their premium plan. I'll get into pricing later on in the video. But as you can see, you get a pretty good discount if you are signed up with their premium plan. As you can see, though, all of these different products are wide-ranging. They're completely different. Some of them, license plates, luggage, etc. So I've seen a lot of questions online when I was doing my research for this video of what people ask. And lots of times they're asking, should I have a different shop for different type of items? Well, you can make it pretty simple on yourself. I would keep one shop and that's it. As long as everything has kind of the same theme. So if everything you do has to do with Christmas, go ahead. Say you also have Halloween, right? Those are 2 different things, but the common theme then becomes holidays. So it is completely fine to have one shop with many different things as long as you have an overarching theme that people kind of get the point of your brand. When you think of Nike, McDonald's, Disney, what do you think of? That's what you want your customers to think of when you're building out your product lines. And I also have these tools here, like Sales Samurai. These will also help you to figure out what to sell. And also, once you do know what you want to sell, this gives you some good SEO, which is search engine optimization, to figure out what keywords and descriptions to use. So if you want to try to figure out how to outcompete against your competitors, try Sales Samurai. There's also Everbee. This one's slightly different because it has email as well, but also has that keyword search I mentioned. And lastly, there's Allura. as well as they have a Pinterest listings feature. So check out what they offer and see if it works for you. The most popular one, I would say, of all three of these is Allura. So let's go ahead and say we're going to sell t-shirts. On their products page, I pull up their bestseller, and for the t-shirt, it's a Bella Canvas 3001. That's the brand and the model number. You can see there's tons of colors we can choose from. The size is extra small to 5XL. And this 1169 is a cost to manufacture. So we're going to have to sell for at least $20 to make some profit. This one has a high amount of reviews, so let's go ahead and choose this one. You could also favorite if you want. So the first question they're asking us, do you want to print it or embroider our design? Embroidery is only good for small designs and uncomplicated things, and it's really good for hats. Printing is what we're going to probably use 9% of the time. Now DTG and DTF, those are direct to garment and direct to film. The difference between these are DTG is printed right onto your shirt. DTF is printed onto a piece of film first, and then the film is transferring it onto your shirt. But if you're not sure which one to pick, I don't blame you. DTG, that's direct to garment, is really good for cotton. It's breathable, and it's good for simple, bold designs. DTF is good for a variety of different materials, and it's longer lasting. So depending on which situation you have, that's what you want to go with. On their website, they have on here more details of the difference between the two of them. But as you can see, DTF is rather new. So I would say 90% of people then who are doing print on demand are using DTG. These are all the colors you can choose from. The X's means it's out of stock for this size. And once we change the size, then we get more options available. Again, this is our price. This is how long it takes to ship. If we order in bulk, we get a discount. So let's go ahead and design it. On the left is the same questions we just saw. There is a pricing and file guidelines if you want to read more about them. There's all this different stuff. At the top, these are where we can put on our different design locations. Inside label, that's a good one to have if you want to be more professional and customize with your branding on your products, especially t-shirts. Or actually, no, because you have them as prior t-shirts, you won't have that on a mug. So as you notice, this looks weird in the middle. Another tip is try to have your design more up top. If it is a design that takes up the whole shirt, that might be fine, but usually you want them to have closer towards the top of the chest when you're designing and positioning all your designs. On the left, these are all the different things you can use. Premium has a lot more different graphics, but you got to pay for their premium account to have that. You can hire a designer even if you want. I've already pre-made mine in Canva. I'm sure you've come across Canva by now. If not, Canva is an excellent tool to create t-shirts, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and upload one I've already created. Now, as you can see, it says my quality is not too great. It's only 150 DPI. I recommend having at least 300. So whatever graphic designing program you're using, make sure you're having 300 DPI. That means dot per inch. But for this example, it's fine because I'm just showing you. I'm actually going to print this out. You can click on it, and this allows you to move it. As I mentioned, you want to have it more towards the top. And when you go towards the bottom or you cut off, they'll tell you that, hey, you're outside of print area. As I mentioned, you want to be closer towards the top as much as possible. You can make it bigger by clicking and dragging. Gets a little annoying when you go over it, right? So X these. There we go. And you could crop it, and you could do all these different things. If you had a background on it, what's really nice nowadays is they have this remove background thing, and you could save your design. Oh, real quick, I did want to mention, any one of these up here are an additional cost. So the original $11.69 cost, that's just for the front. These are all extra. If you want to zoom in, get a better look, there you go. Whenever you're ready, you hit click Save Template. And there we go. I'm going with just a white t-shirt. It's got a large front print, size M, D key G. These are my costs. As you notice, it's 5 to 21 days. That could be a long time. And then you could do all this different things if you want, or just go ahead and click publish. We don't have a store connected right now. Your store will be Etsy, Shopify, or whatever. And that's how you publish it to those stores. And once they're there, you're ready to sell. Somebody can start buying it. One tip I want to point out for your variants, like the colors and sizes. Sizes ain't such a big deal, but you definitely want to have not too many options for your customers. You don't want to have paralysis by analysis. So start off with the top 3 if you want. The top 3 colors are white, black, and navy. I just walked through how doing a t-shirt, but as I mentioned earlier, ceramic mugs and stickers are also one of the top selling items on Printful. Regarding ceramic mugs, it's free to have your design on both sides of the mug. And when somebody buys one, they feel better when the picture's on both sides. And they also feel good when they're drinking it, seeing what they've purchased. For stickers, the actual size of the sticker is going to be smaller than the size of the dimensions stated. The dimensions are actually just for the backing of the sticker. And that brings up the difference between kiss cut and die cut stickers. Kiss cut only cut through the vinyl and not the paper backing. This makes them easier to peel and keeps them protected, especially during shipping. How do we know about the different products? And we've created our shirt. Let's go ahead and connect our Etsy store. We'll do Shopify after that one. So just bear with me if you're interested in Shopify only. So you click publish. And it's going to say, hey, you don't have a store, so you want to connect to them. Connect using choose platform. And then we click connect on Etsy or Shopify. Yeah, scroll down, unfortunately, and then connect to Etsy again. All right, so then this is Etsy's website, even though we don't see the word Etsy really anywhere for the logo. But go ahead and sign in. If you don't have an account, click create an account. All right, so it's signed in and granted them access. We're connected. So we click publish product. And this is going to send our shirt over to Etsy. Okay, so it brings up all the color options we have. If we want to add more, if we didn't do that originally, we could add more, as well as sizes. And we proceed to mockups. You know what a mockup is? A mockup is essentially this picture here, but a better mockup is a lifestyle one, right? So this one at least has a person on it, but we want to have one with a background. So if our demographic is action sports, we want to have more of a picture of somebody doing an action sport, and essentially any image they'll connect with our target market, or at least that image we're using on our heads to sell the t-shirt or whatever it is we're selling. You could create your own using Canva, or you can also do mock-ups by the ones they have. So I'm going to show you that one real quick. As I mentioned, this is a more of a lifestyle one. It shows a person with a wood background, so it kind of has some character to it. These ones here are just plain old blank white backgrounds. They're not that enticing. People might not buy your stuff because of it, unless they really like the design. Remember, you're competing against other people. These are other mockups you could also use. They're all for free. As you can see, you're limited to 10 per product. So that's if you want to use their mockups, but if you want to create your own, we click this one. And now they have some different scenes we could use. So we'll just throw on this, see what happens. So now it's our t-shirt with this background / foreground, if you want to call it that. And if you could search different kinds, you could save them. It'll eventually go into your My Scenes. The other option is what a lot of people do to get a leg up on your competition is use something called Place It. And Place It is just a mock-up company. That's all they're about. So you can explore all their different mock-ups and, as you can see, upload your image to their t-shirts. You could do it based on age, gender, ethnicity, or search up here so into something more specific. This one here is a video. I recommend in any store you're able to, try to use a video. People like to have more real life imagery, and a video really does that. Especially in the world of TikTok and Instagram Reels, people like short form videos nowadays. The only issue with places is they cost about $8 per month. You can buy an image one at a time. That's going to get costly if you need a lot of them. Or you could buy the $8 per month and you would have unlimited amount. I recommend going that route, especially if you didn't get serious about this. The other option is go to Etsy, even if you're using Shopify, and just search for the exact name of the item you're selling. So we were doing the Bella Canvas 3001 t-shirt, and I put the word mockup at the end. And these are everything people already created for mockups that we could then add our logo or our design to sell our item. They do have movies in here somewhere, so look for those ones. Those are also very good. So I'm going to select this one and go with that. You could also add more props. Add some plants and stuff if you want. You could add some text, whatever floats your boat. Click continue. So this is our mockup. I recommend having more than just one mockup. You should have some more mockups to really sell your product, especially if you're selling unisex. Have a man and a woman. For your product title, that's where you want to be very descriptive in terms of keyword search. So that's where those services I recommended that use keyword searching for you for SEO, that's what we put here. So I don't want to have just a unisex t-shirt. I also, because mine's summer-based, have summer. Surfing if you're into surfing, or beaches. This way, if anybody's searching for the word surfing and beach, mine will pop up. You don't want to be completely spammy here. You still want to look decent and relate to what your t-shirt actually is, or mug, whatever you're selling. For description, you could choose among these different kinds they have. And it changes the description based on which one you chose. If you want to have this, you can have it. That just tells you what on-demand manufacturing is. That just means it's made to order. That's okay. I don't want to know what it's needed. If you're sending to the EU, that's international. You can select this one. That gets more complicated. It's your call whether or not you want to get complicated with your sales. For tags, you could do a max of 13, but it's kind of the same thing as above. You do like 13 and each is put a comma to make more than one. Mine is unisex instead of just man or woman. Then we click continue. So now we're into pricing, and don't sweat yourself too much with pricing. You can always change your prices, and if you really get into hot demand, I always recommend increasing your price until your sales start leveling off. This way you know that's the max amount of price that people are both willing and able to purchase your items. So if we want to increase our retail price, we can do that as well. You can do it down here as well. And that gives you an estimated earnings of how much you would make based on the sale of $18. As I said before, we should be at least around $20. So for a $20 t-shirt, we should be making $8.31. And this is for medium. But if we had large, etc., we could increase the price because large and extra at large costs us more. So we're going to want those ones at least $1 or $2 more. So that's it. We're done. We have one color, one size of this t-shirt, and this looks pretty good for a picture. I think if somebody really likes our t-shirt design, this looks pretty active. It looks like something you want to get involved with and with that kind of lifestyle. I recommend, especially when you're first starting out, to order a sample. It's going to cost you money, but it doesn't cost you a lot. So go ahead and order a sample. This way you know what your customers will experience in terms of packaging, just anything really. This way you know what they're going to get and there's no surprise for you. You don't want to have an angry customer or a mistake that they find out, and you don't want that, right? Okay, that was Etsy. So now we're going to do Shopify. Pretty much the same steps, except we're going to install the Printful app within Shopify. Shopify has their own app store. and then we're going to log in. Or if you don't have an account, go ahead and create one. Just so you know, Shopify costs you money no matter what. I have a link in my description. It costs only $1 for 3 months. So go ahead and get that link before you sign up to save yourself some money. Okay, so I'm going to go log in. It's going to ask you want the permissions. You click yes. So you sign in the Printful. So if you're asked for your site's URL, it's down on settings, and then it's right here. You can just copy and paste this. This is pretty ugly, so if you want to get better, you can go down the domains, and either buy one, connect one if you already have www. Or right here's where you change it. So you go and change it once, forever, for free, and you can make it whatever you want. And it's be.myshopify.com. Okay, I'm going to keep mine the same for simplicity's sake. So I'm going to have to use this guy here. That's how you connect Shopify with Printful. I do want to show you on the Printful dashboard that when you go to my products, here's the one we created that was published to Etsy. We go to Shopify, it's not there. So Printful has a little bit of a issue there. You have to go to the original store you published it to. You have to go to the original store it's published to, go to 3 ellipses and click duplicate. And that'll allow you to go through the motions again. It'll pre-fill out some of the information to then duplicate it into your Shopify store. That's the only way that there seems to be to sync all 3 of them up. I'd like to show you what happens now that we're connected to this Shopify. Click View in Shopify. And this is what I see because I didn't set up my full store yet. So go up here to enter our password to log in. So as you can see, it's not working, right? So now we're going to log in as a store owner because I have no idea what they're trying to use for this one. So this is good for the tutorials if you run into any problems like I am. But as you can see, it didn't like my password. However, when I logged in using the store owner part, it worked. So let's go check out our products that we sent over from Printful. And here it is. It's active. So for our description and our title, that's where I mentioned you want to do a lot of SEO keyword search. I want to make sure we have more than what I have and better looking mockups. Category, you could put in t-shirts and clothing tops. You could just take your suggestion or go find it. These are the sizes, the prices. It's more expensive once you get above large because it costs us more to produce them. Here's some missing information they're recommending for metadata, so you can just accept it or not. This is what ours would look like in Google if we searched it. So for product organization, their help center describes exactly what those are. Basically, it lets you segment your products into different things, and obviously tags are more keyword search type things. Collections, you get different collections. You get like a Christmas collection, a Halloween collection, things like that. So if you want to fill them out, you can. We have a template. If we change our templates, we can do that. But other than that, our product is ready to go. We hit save, and we're all set. This is a product goodbye on my store. If my store was live and active, I have it deactivated just so no way after that accidentally buys this and actually don't have to ship this out. Or regardless of what store you use, if you go to more than settings, than store settings, you have all these other options regarding your stores. So if you go to shipping, per store, you could change all these different kind of shipping features. So that's shipping rates, but did you know that unlike other print-on-demand providers, Printful actually will warehouse your products? This way they ship out faster. They do. So let's check that out. So to get there, we go to more and then warehouse, and we could click on how it works to get a general idea of how this warehousing works. Essentially, it's like Amazon, where if you don't know anything about Amazon stores, Amazon has the marketplace where you could buy from anybody, but it ships from an Amazon warehouse. This way it ships within that 2-day Prime window. Well, it used to anyways, right? So this is very similar where you can add your products to their warehouse for a fee. You can also, because of that, you can also add these packages as well and have the custom branded packaging. These are the 7 steps of how it actually works. Down here is the guidelines to even have a storage cost calculator because it costs money. This is how you submit it. Requirements, packings are those inserts, the custom packaging. So let's click on that and what it looks like. So if you did want to add the packaging, you click on this one and you add your logo or whatever you want, the title of it, the category, what kind. And then you fill out the rest of the information, and then you could add your package. I think it's a really cool thing to do. It's a good competitive advantage to them. But it is costly, and it will come into your profit margins. So it's up to you if you want to take on that extra cost. Speaking of profit margins, how do we actually get paid on this thing? Well, if you use Printful's quick stores, Printful will pay you once somebody buys through that store. If you have Etsy, Shopify, or anything else, that other outside store is going to be the one that pays you. One of the fastest ways to get more money is to advertise. Advertising will net you more sales, and you bypass your competition and get right in front of your customers. Whether that's banner ads, sponsored posts, Instagram stories, anything that you think is going to get from your customer and get them interested in you. If they like what you're selling, they'll click on it and they'll most likely purchase because it's something you made that's special, unique, and it's what they want. Don't add pressure to yourself by trying to go viral. You don't need that. Don't forget, once you actually are making sales, you want to have that custom packaging or custom branded inserts, anything to give you more of a connection with the customers. This way they become repeat customers. It's always cheaper to sell to the same person than it is to recruit a whole brand new customer. This is where customer support comes in. When things don't go right, you and your customer are going to rely on Printful to get things done in as smooth and fast way as possible. Printful has multiple ways you could get a hold of them. They have a live chat, they have a help center, and in the help center, they have all these FAQs for their products, getting started, video tips, all these different sections. If you have an integration, they walk you through it here. They're quick stores, what I mentioned earlier. So anything you could think of, there should be an FAQ with it. I'm going to click on this one. Their articles cover pretty much anything you could think of, as well as taxes, right? We got to talk about taxes. I'll get to them later. But if you actually have to get a hold of somebody, you can use chat, their contact form, which I don't know who actually ever uses a contact form. I feel like they just go to a black hole, but maybe Printful is different than other places. You could join their social media group to get help from others that are in the community, or if you're lucky, somebody at Printful will see your message and reach out. And if you're just happen to be in Latvia, you could walk over and stop by and give them a piece of your mind. What do we do when there's an issue with an order? Well, you can report an issue straight from the dashboard. And this could be for misprints, defective, damaged, or mislabeled items. But you got to report it within 30 to 40 days of delivery. And the way it works is Printful will review your case, and they usually want a photo, which means you're going to have to ask your customer for a photo of the issue. And then they'll reship the corrected item to your customer for no extra cost. Or if you want a refund, they'll give them the refund as well. What's nice about Printful is oftentimes your replacements are processed before the customer returns the defective item. To see all your returns in your dashboard, you could go to More and then Returns. I didn't mention earlier, but if you hit this pin button, you could pin them anything you want to the left-hand side so you don't have to keep clicking on More. And it has some return information down at the bottom as well if you want to read up on that. And the last support section I want to talk about is out of stock and on hold orders. Printful will give you a notification up here, and then they'll give you a choice what to do. You can either switch to an alternative product, you could wait until it's restocked, or if you cancel and refund your customer. The reason why something might be on hold is there a design issue or file quality, security checks, or address verification reasons. If the issue hasn't been resolved within 30 days, Printful will automatically refund your Printful wallet. Can we trust them to do what they say they're going to do and refund our money? Well, according to Trustpilot, about 7,000 people have on average gave them 4.6 stars, so it sounds like, yes, they can be trusted. If you don't know much about Trustpilot, companies cannot offer incentives or pay to hide negative reviews. And a good thing about Printful in particular, they've responded to 99% of all negative reviews within 48 hours. So it's a good sign. It means the company cares about their reputation, and you're most likely to get an answer if you reach out to them. They're not just a website, though. They're also an app. So let's check out their app. On Apple Store, they have a 4.7 out of nearly 7,000 reviews. And according to Printful themselves, with their app, you can do pretty much everything you can on the website. That's pretty good. Not all apps are like that. Some apps are mostly just analytics or messaging things. They're not full featured like this. And on Google's Play Store, Printful has about 4.5 stars from 2,000 reviews, which means a lot less people use Printful on an Android device. That could be helpful information for you. It might not be. And looks like the app is full featured, just like Apple's. The best way to think about it, Printful operates a transparent model where it's you pay per item and you pay as you go with the free plan. The growth plan, you're just prepaying for discounts, kind of like a Costco plan where you pay up front, or even Amazon Prime. If you don't have Costco, you pay up front and you get a discount on a lot of things and you get some bonuses. You're not really limited too much on the free plan, but the premium plan will help you out once you grow as a seller. And while we're in the dashboard, I just want to walk you through the layout of it. On the left-hand side, you have your home, your orders, the product catalog. This is where you go to sell new products, your current products. If you would have connected stores like Etsy, Shopify, you have your pinned items, your recent ones, and in more, that's where you find our things. The last thing you want to have happen is your shop gets shut down or you get sued for trademark or copyright infringement. The U.S. government has a website where you could search for things. So I use Christmas as an example. And I'm here. They'll show you every company that owns the word Christmas. Now, they don't own Christmas because obviously, look, there's so many of them, right? And as you can see, also, some of them are dead. This one's alive. Okay, so this is frozen vegetables in the nature of chili. So that means something owns like a Christmas chili recipe or something. This company does. And the class is 029, which means, I'm guessing, food or frozen food. On the screen are 6 classes that I think most people are using Printify to sell items from. Use the government website to search these classes and filter based on only live, not dead or abandoned products to find out if somebody owns something that you want to use in your words. So like I said, Christmas. This is also good to use when creating the name for your company. You don't want to have something somebody already has. Now, somebody could have something similar, but as I mentioned, that chili one, if they have the same name as you, but it's for frozen foods, as long as you have nothing to do with food or frozen food specifically, you're fine. I do want to clarify, I'm not a legal professional, I'm not a lawyer to saying legal advice, etc. I'm not going to do taxes as well, so I'm not an accountant, and I'm not giving you any kind of financial advice. But here are the basics of taxes I think everybody should know when starting a Printify store. The first thing I know is getting rid of the fear and complications around taxes. Let's change them into something simple and maybe even something to look forward to. We probably won't, but we can try. My third point is regarding how you like to be taxed. As a person by themselves, you're just going to simply be taxed like it's your normal gay job. Unless you go ahead and set up an LLC or some kind of business entity, all that money you're making is just like having a second job. I assure you, your taxes will not get complicated. Think of it as you selling stuff at a garage sale and you're just making some extra cash on the side and you have to report to the government. They'll just have to at your going rate, and most people it's about 22%. Think of Printify, Etsy, and Shopify as your employer, and the money you made from them was just a commission on a sale. You don't have an hourly or salary pay, and you're only paid based on how many sales you make. That's it. It's not really complicated. For your own peace of mind, just keep your paperwork organized, save and download all invoices and receipts, and you'll be just fine. To calm your nerves anymore, many colleges offer free tax help, or you can even reach out to a senior accounting major on Facebook and ask them for some basic advice. Ask around, and I'm sure an aspiring accountant would love to help you out to gain some experience for them. It's good for the resume. It's a win-win. I do highly recommend talking to a licensed accountant once you sell $5,000 in gross revenue. Things starts changing at that amount for taxes. Regarding the EIN, you can get one when you're ready, but since it's free and takes about 10 minutes, I suggest doing it sooner rather than later. You won't need an LLC right away. I actually recommend not getting one right away. You won't need one until you're ready to protect your personal assets from anything related to the business. Eventually, I'll have a video about setting up an LLC on here. But for right now, just remember, an LLC's main purpose is to create a wall between your personal assets and the business in case of any debt or lawsuit. That's it, really. It has nothing to do with taxes. So you don't really need one until you want that wall. Either yourself or an accountant could help you feel out when the best time for that is. One thing you also can get right away, it's a business credit card. Getting a business credit card right away keeps your business transactions separate from your personal, which is key to eventually gain that LLC wall I mentioned. You do not need to formally create a business entity to get one, but you can use your own personal credit card if you want. Just keep in mind you're going to be charged every time somebody makes an order, so you want to get good reward points. This way you get some kind of cash back. And remember to always try to keep things simple the whole time in business. Keep your credit history positive. One of the last things you should do is get a business bank account. You do need an official business entity like an LLC, a business address, a virtual address will work, and an EIN to get one of those. My general advice for you when starting up is just to keep things simple and realize you're not locked into anything. Every single successful business has made mistakes, received bad reviews, and thought they were going to fail. Those things are not the end of the world, but it is up to you how you respond to them. Most customers don't leave reviews or even read them when buying. Just look at how many reviews a product on Amazon has compared to how many have sold that month. With that in mind, just start and go slow. Adapting is how all businesses survive. Go ahead and create your Printify account. Choose a manufacturer that has a high rating. Monster Digital and Swift POD are among the most popular. Then start selling. You're a smart person. You'll know when you need to change things. Well, that's my Printful video. I hope it was helpful for you. You've got a lot out of it, and you've been encouraged enough to go ahead and start your print-on-demand business. If you found this video helpful, please like it this way to help spread the word. Thank you for watching. Best of luck.